What's up? What's going on? Welcome to the lab. Josh. Yeah, that's me. Oh, my avatar. Happy Wednesday morning. Welcome. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Um we did have unbelievably we did have an earthquake this morning. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous now. At this point it's kind of ridiculous how many earthquakes we have. Um I'm not really I'm not really sure why so many earthquakes. Uh, oh, what's up, Cat? Good to see you. Anyway, I'm terribly sorry about earlier. I had a show planned, and uh, I don't know. We lost power like 5 minutes before, waited for it to come back on, and it just never came back. Like it came back on, but then by that time I was just deflated. Um, I'm kind of like whenever I very rarely just jump on and and then randomly talk or whatever. I mean, I don't know what you want to call it, but typically, it's all planned out, and I'm like, okay, I have a show, I have something planned, and then all of a sudden it's like, and then I don't feel like I can adequately save the show or uh because I first of all I really don't I don't like doing shows when I'm not up. It's not even that if I'm not up for it, it's like you want to keep a level of some sort of energy. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, fine. Totally fine. But you want to keep some sort of energy. Oops. And you know, to me it's like once that is just deflated, then I'm like, okay. Oh yeah, seriously being really wacky. But anyway, I did want to apologize for uh for not being able to go live earlier. And also the subject matter earlier that I was going to talk about. I don't know if I was quite ready as well. I mean, this has nothing to do with why I didn't go on, but um quite frankly, this whole Brian Walsh, Anna Walsh, I was going to talk about that a little bit, and it's like it's the worst. Um I absolutely despise that situation. We all know where it's headed. We all know how it's going to end. And yeah, it really like it's like it almost sometimes feels like you're I wouldn't even say like fighting a losing battle, but it's just like some things never change. This Brian Walsh guy is like about as insidious as as it gets, and I really do struggle with those stories, and I was gonna talk about him a little bit tonight, and, uh, maybe it was divine intervention or, maybe it was just, you know, coincidence or whatever, but, um, I really do loathe these these kind of humans on on a molecular level. Um, I was talking to somebody earlier about this guy, and I haven't even gotten into the details. But what happens is, so I start reading the story, and I get to the part of the three kids. Like these people had three children. Brian had Brian and Anna had three children. And then I read, that they're in state's custody now, and yeah, you're just like, I don't know. That's about as far as I made it in that story. Um, it's awful. It really is awful. Um, I'm not even sure how old those kids are. I'm assuming they're not that old. And you got a father who most likely killed the mother and then desecrated her body, and it's just like, "Hey, good to see you." It just never. First of all, it just never ends, and I don't know. Those ones really do bother me a lot. It's really like, it's not that it's not even it's not that like the the Moscow murders, and when little kids go missing, um as much as, like, I can't really relate to those situations. Yeah, 2, 4, and 6. I mean, it's just awful. I can't really relate to those situations other than, being a part of something that bad that happened. Um, but the one thing that I really do relate to are like the little kids. When they're taken away from their family, or things like that, and like those kinds of stories are the ones that I do sometimes, I say, struggle with. I mean, struggle, uh, but I really do resonate with these children, um, because I was them, and I think that it is the one thing, especially about this story. So when this Brian Walsh character, who by the way is just like, I looked at him and I was like, man, you're a scumbag. Uh, dog videos, yeah. So, the experience, they found this bag with all sorts of stuff in it, like a hacksaw and a hatchet, and like and look, I don't know anything. I've never experienced anything like that in my life, but nor would I want to. But then, like, when you boil it all down, who's left? Well, mom's dead, dad's going to prison, and then you got 3 little kids who now have to somehow, some way, put some resemblance of a life together, and hopefully, these children end up going to, uh, family. Um, that would be ideal, and, then this guy, Brian Walsh, would forever just, he'd either, ride the lightning or just disappear into obscurity, and oblivion forever, never to be heard from again. And, then you kind of go on it kind of like in World War II when the tankers would travel, and, they started in Africa, and then they, uh, ended up in Europe, and it was like, where do they go next? And it was just like on to the next town, on to the next town, on to the next town. And then the same thing here is that there's a million Brian Walshes. There's a million Brian Laundries. There's a million Brian Kobergers. And trust me, each one of these stories are unique in their own way because of the people that are involved. The victims themselves are what is unique about these cases. But um, what's not unique are scumbags that prey on other people and do things to other people that they have no business doing, that kind of stuff with. And by the way, for the it's hard to be immersed in true crime all the time. Well, yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I'm not particularly, bothered. It's just certain cases, you have to, but like I said, none of these guys are unique, interesting, fascinating. Basically, all it boils down to is these are overgrown children who didn't get their way in life, as they got older, and were probably breastfed till they were like 7, and told that they could do no wrong, and blah 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 blah. And they'll go to extremes to get their way, and even if that means, committing murder, like that. I mean, that's really where it boils down to. And you kind of go, what kind, like, if what Brian Walsh has done, or is, they haven't even charged the guy with murder yet. They're going to. They're going to charge him with murder, and that's why they're holding him online to investigators, so he's out of the way now, and that they can kind of do their investigation, um, and then lay a murder charge on him. And they found that, uh, it's just like, so, and I don't know what's going to end up happening. It'll come down to a couple different things. One, it'll be uh, he either she was either getting ready to leave him because I mean, if you look at her, she was obviously way too pretty and probably too smart and talented and probably too great of a wife for him and he would never he would, never get a woman like that ever again. And then you're not leaving. We have 3 kids. You're mine or whatever. Or, it's financial or a combination of both. Hey, how's it going? It's a combination of both. And for these overgrown children, these babies, these man babies, they can't handle rejection. They can't handle um, losing out. The fact of the matter is, I had this conversation with my son just the other day, and we were just talking about at any time, at any point in life, anybody has the right to break up or leave anybody that they're with for any reason that they want. Doesn't even have to be a good reason. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm sure I'm sure it matters to the person that's, getting dumped or, left in the dust or whatever you want to call it. And I'm sure that matters. But what nobody has the right to do is to obviously take another person's life. And the fact that somebody or people go to the depths that they do because of rejection or money or life insurance or whatever, it will always be a point of contention for me because I just don't understand. I don't understand it. I never have. I never will. I've tried um, to understand those kind of things, and I struggle with that. I really do. I really do struggle with trying to understand that kind of stuff. Um, so I don't really try that much anymore. And you know, but now that this stuff is coming out about this Brian fellow, that they found blood in the basement and a knife that was damaged, like from whatever. Uh, and they've a hacksaw, a hatchet, blood, whatever. Guy buying $450 worth of whatever. I mean, what like $450 worth of cleaning supplies? Your wife's missing, and and you expect people, and you expect people to understand or think like, oh yeah, like that's totally normal. Somewhere along the way, I do wonder like how this man thought that he was going to get away with it. Um, which I don't. I mean, I have no idea the thought process, and it's not even like it's not even like, he was close to it, close to not getting caught. The same thing with this with Koberger. Um, I was kind of fooled by him. I was like, yeah, this guy's got to be really smart. Blah blah blah. Obviously not. Anybody that's willing to commit that kind of a crime, they think, oh, this is how I'm going to do it. This is how it's going to happen. Well, the problem is, um, when people fight back, those kind of people don't really know how to react, and then things kind of get out of hand, even worse than what they were going to, and so on and so forth. But it was like, do they think that they were going to try and that they were going to get away with it? Like the D or excuse me, Dale, uh, Dale and Mr. Morphew both basically have the same exact story, and so does Larry Miliete. They all have the same story. They all have the same story, and their wives all went to the same spot. They all are apparently hiding out somewhere away from their children that they would never leave under any circumstances other than failing to have life in their body. I mean, that's what it takes to pull these kind of women away from their children. They don't just go missing. They don't just run off. They don't just, you know, whatever. And overwhelmingly, it's men killing women, domestic in nature, and the entire possessiveness that people have. Like I can understand jealousy. I can understand being hurt. I can understand having resentment for somebody who leaves you. I can understand all of it, but I can't understand um, anything about what these guys do to their significant others, but not even that, not even just their significant others, but um, to also their families, like their kids and their brothers and sisters and so on and so forth. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Like you're not just killing somebody. Now these three kids have to grow up. Yeah, exactly. Most men wouldn't even know enough about cleaning products to buy. That's a weird one to me, Celeste. I'll tell you that right now. Um, you know, 450 bucks. Your wife's missing, and then you're going out there, but it's the dumbest. Like this man is dumb, and not only dumb, he's evil. He's evil and dumb, and um, it's really it does really truly baffle me. And as someone that has lost a mother to domestic violence and lost a father as well, uh, because basically those kids who only know mom and dad. I mean, their world is uh, confusing and dark, and it doesn't the world itself doesn't really lend itself to a warm, fuzzy feeling uh, at any age, let alone let alone, being that age when you're defenseless and helpless and, all those things and so on and so forth. Um, and so I struggle to see, like, I this isn't a crime of passion. What really, really, really bothers me is, well, there's a bunch of stuff that really bothers me about it, but one of the things that really bothers me is, the most, is the fact that you have a man who not only feels that it is his right or within his mind that he can take the life of his partner, wife, ex-wife, so on and so forth. But but it doesn't just stop there. This is where it gets really nuts. I mean, it's nuts just to kill somebody in general, trust me. Like, obviously most of us couldn't fathom that. And so I think, excuse me, I gotta take this hair out. Yep, yep, yep. Because I'm a girl with long hair. I'm just like a hippie boy. But okay, so sorry about that. So it doesn't just stop at the murder. What happens is it they desecrate their bodies and try to hide the bodies, cover up the crime. So not only are they taking that person's life, but what on top of that, now they're trying to hide their um, bodies, and then they make up some story about where they went or what they were doing or so on and so forth, and you're just going like, "What?" It's so above it is so above and beyond just anything that that could be comprehended by a normal human being. And when I say normal, just your average Joe. I'm not even talking about upstanding citizen, Johnny Purple Heart or, um, you know, mayor. I'm just talking about normal people who go about their daily lives. Sure, these people, we make mistakes, we do things that we regret, we say things that we regret, so on and so forth. And that's all whatever, but so just even to just the normal person, it's unfathomable. It's just absolutely unfathomable. But at the same time, it almost seems to be like some sort of epidemic. And I use that term loosely, epidemic, because I don't really know the definition of epidemic, or pandemic or anything. I always thought that epidemic was the worst, and I do know that the numbers are going up, that these murders, of the domestic violence has reached a fever pitch, most of it going unreported. And having a having a temper is one thing, but like this is worse than a temper. This is just lunacy. That's the kind of behavior is lunacy. And anyway, and I'll talk more about this tomorrow. Um, like I said, we were supposed to have a live tonight. The power went out. We had another earthquake this morning, which was awesome, and nothing major, but just another one. And then we've been having this like crazy weather, just like raining nonstop, wind nonstop. Just like, ugh, you know. But and I know there was a bunch of people waiting for the show, and then I got emails, and then I got messages, and like I said, I'm truly sorry. I hate when things like that happen. Um, yeah, the power went out, and then it was just like I tried to save it on my phone. The whole thing just kind of turned into a nightmare. But you know, whatever. There's nothing I could do about it. It's just it sucked. I mean, I was pumped up, man. I had a good show ready to go. I had a great show ready. I was looking forward to it. I was ready to rip these Bryans apart. And then all of a sudden you just go, oh, you know. So it sucks. It really does suck. But like I said, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just, why cry over spilled milk? And I used to wonder why people say, "Wow, why cry over spilled milk?" And then until I started buying my own milk, then it was a pain in the butt. Then you're going, "Oh man, like I know why people cry over milk now." Yeah, so I do have this show prepared, and so we'll do it tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Wednesday. So we're gonna go Wednesday through Saturday. I'm gonna have a couple guests this week, and I will be putting out more standalone videos, even though YouTube really messed up my last video. They did this to everybody's video, and I still don't have no idea what's going on with the video, but it was like at a certain time when you released a video, then uh the real time views stopped and the recommendations stopped, and then it just like um when you go to put a video up, they ask you like, is it advertiser friendly? And I always, I say, yeah, it is. And then they say, well, no, it's not. So let's review it. And then they take 7 days to review it. And I'm going, I don't even care if it gets monetized. I don't want the reach messed up. And then, so they do that too. So they choke the reach, and then, that's fun. But that's just YouTube for you. Yeah. Lexa, didn't this Walsh dude have internet searches how to dispose or dismember of a 150-pound female? Yeah, he did. Well, I mean, that's what they're saying. Um, that's what they're saying. Oh, no, we are. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I, for one, look forward to future Brian ripping things. Josh, please continue. Yeah, no, I was locked in. I was ready to go. It was gonna. sometimes I come in hot and I was ready, and then that happened. I was like, okay, crossing my fingers, and then pew, went down like just went deflated. But like I said, there's nothing you can do about that, and not to get overly deflated about stuff. Um, Let me see. This looks like an interesting. It is 5 women per day and 1 male per day that loses their lives to a partner, wife, husband, um, or lover, domestic violence resulting in death. That's only in the UK and Ireland. God only knows what America is. Yeah, you're right. God only knows. God only knows. Uh, Snowpack looking great this year, and the reservoirs are filling up. They are, yeah, no, they are. The problem is that you just don't want these places don't get rain a lot, and so when they do get rain, then it just becomes a major issue. So, um, but it, yeah, well, that case is still ongoing, but they're on to it. BC proud. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Yes, Michael Vaughn. I'm sleepy as well. No promises. I figure we're just gonna ride it out. Yeah, it's been raining a lot. Wait. I appreciate that. No, yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Um, all good. I just wanted to hop on and tell you, yeah, I was I was bummed that I didn't get to do the show tonight, but tomorrow, there's always tomorrow. You're only a day away. Mhm. Yeah, the whole thing about Vaughn is just yeah. So anyway, like I said, I didn't plan on staying on very long. I just wanted to jump on. Good good morning from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Glad you are all right. Thank you. What is up with the criminal heads these days? Why is it so prevalent in the house? Scary for sure. Social strange too. Sky, yeah, I don't know. Oh, SoCal, sorry. Sky River, yeah, it is. I, I'm like, I'm actually really tired, which is kind of a blessing. Cat H, you're so right. It is good versus evil. It really is. It really is. Yeah. And I refuse to play those. And another thing is what makes YouTube uh difficult is, I refuse to play the conspiracy theorist games with uh, people's situations and it's not I don't know. It's the whole thing has taken a turn, you know. Everything about it. Everything about the crime community and TikTok and Twitter, and it's all kind of gross, and not that I'm not like a part of that in some way, but like I don't really fit in um, with the psychoticness or what I perceive as psychoticness. Maybe they just think, oh, he's boring and dumb and whatever. Da, 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 da. Uh, because like that's all that a lot of these people have, and definitely not what I. It's not exactly exclusively what I do, but you know, yeah, it's not even really about entertainment. It's we do a show. It's a standard show, you know, and but like I've always been into crime stories and like a lot of people, but I think my fascination probably comes from a little different place than a lot of people's, but it doesn't really matter how you end up here. Most people end up here because they've been a part of something tragic or know of, of something in their family or things like that. But um, anyway, everybody's going to bed. I'm going to bed. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll talk more. And yeah, thank you guys.